Welcome to Safe Riding with BikeSafe, protected bike lanes, and more. Bike lanes come in many different varieties these days, but not all of them are created equal. Paint alone provides very little protection, and many simply merge into traffic at intersections. But there's been a lot of development since towards safer designs. Some work better than others, with protected bike lanes and intersections rapidly emerging as favorites for everyday commuter riders. So let's take a look at actual examples of these new designs and their pluses and minuses. The simplest of new designs is the green bike lane, but paint is not protection. Though they can be used effectively by highlighting bike lanes through intersections, some cities have tried to use this approach on sharrows. While this may make the marking more visible, they're not suitable for all riders and provide no physical separation. Advisory bike lanes are a hybrid between a painted bike lane and a sharrow. Though they look like standard bike lanes, they are striped on streets too narrow to accommodate both bike lanes and automotive lanes. They're inspired by the advisory bike lanes found in Europe, though these are generally painted. Advisory lanes have not been successful in the US though. Of the few that were created, some have been replaced by sharrows. Buffered bike lanes create a wider berth from automotive traffic. While some buffers may be quite narrow, many of the latest designs are as wide as the bike lane itself. Some of these lanes also have flex posts to discourage drivers from encroaching. Buffer protection can also be found around parallel parking, spacing riders away from the door zone. And when the buffer and bike lane are on the inside of parked vehicles, the lane is said to be parking protected. While buffers are a step up over painted bike lanes, they're still physically permeable by automobile drivers and not always ideal.
Just be a minute.
Protected bike lanes are extremely popular with families and commuter riders. The best ones provide an actual physical barrier from traffic, using curbs, decorative planters, barricades, or fixed bollards. These dividers turn the bike lane into a low-stress environment. Riders don't have to worry about drivers weaving into an unprotected bike lane or risk irritating pedestrians by riding on the sidewalk. Additionally, when the protection comes from a large, fixed barrier, protected bike lanes are amongst the safest bike infrastructure that can be built. They provide a place for riders of all ages and abilities, opening up opportunities for kids to ride to school and for adults to ride to work. Not every street necessarily needs a protected lane though. Tighter streets are often better suited by traffic calming instead. Still, barrier protection remains the gold standard for rider safety. Their only weakness is at driveways. While drivers pulling out are generally easy to spot and avoid, drivers pulling in can cause a right hook. A deeper setback with an uninterrupted bike lane provides more reaction time and mitigates this problem. Keep in mind that some municipalities consider flex posts or low barriers a protected bike lane. We prefer to call these buffered if automobiles can breach the barrier. Cycletracks group two directions of bicycle traffic together. They are usually offset on one side of the road, but are sometimes located in the center between automobile traffic, and occasionally allow two-way bicycle traffic on one-way streets. Like their single-direction counterparts, they can be buffered or protected, and their safety is relative to these dividers. They also have a slightly greater drawback at driveways. Since drivers tend to look in the direction of oncoming automobile traffic, it's easy to overlook riders approaching from the opposite direction. Unfortunately, these make it difficult to get to places on the other side of the road. Bike boxes are a left turn area, ahead of the conventional stop line for automobiles. When an intersection signal is red, drivers stop behind the bike box while riders roll up ahead. Riders turning left can move into the box and receive priority to go on the green or left turn light. This provides an alternative to merging, and the forward position increases visibility. Keep in mind that one cannot use the left turn area once a green light cycle begins. If a rider is not comfortable merging into traffic beforehand, which has its own set of risks, they must wait in the bike lane. However, the bike lane may be too narrow to accommodate riders waiting to turn left and those traveling straight through. The design is not without flaws. Also, riders traveling straight still have to worry about right hooks. The two-stage turn box eliminates some of the issues with standard bike boxes. To use one, you ride across the intersection, stop in the box, and wait to get a green light before proceeding. Some turn boxes also create the necessary transition area to connect dual-lane cycle tracks to conventional one-way bike lanes. Left turn boxes may differ depending on municipality, and early implementations may inadvertently position riders in the path of turning vehicles and tractor trailers. A few cities have developed an alternative to the bike box at three-way intersections. These bike bays allow riders to escape the through lane and occupy a safe space until traffic clears. These often have their own signal and, though convenient, are relatively uncommon due to space considerations. Other municipalities have experimented with center left turn bike lanes, which give riders a refuge when crossing an offset intersection. These are quite unusual and not as common as most of the bike lanes mentioned here, but they have been implemented in some forward-thinking cities. In contrast to the complexity of the previous designs, protected intersections seamlessly join protected bike lanes where traffic converges. These introduce curb-protected corner islands that make it easier for drivers to see riders in their sightlines. They also provide additional space out of the main flow of traffic, and they can join Cycletracks with single-direction lanes. These can be designed for smaller intersections too. The protected intersection is very similar to the Dutch roundabout. The design facilitates excellent visibility and safe yielding. While the Netherlands is well known for safe cycling facilities like these, countries throughout the world are adopting protected bike lanes as well, and the US is beginning to catch up. In fact, many of the examples here reflect the work of American cities that have made exceptional progress for people on bicycles, proving that it is possible to make cycling safe in the United States. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to join us for the discussion about safer streets on social media.